All right. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Give Me Right podcast. I'm Brandon.
I'm Dylan.
I'm Noah.
And today, we're going to be talking about pop culture in no particular order. I'm going to start us off with Star Wars. Pretty big week, for
Pretty
news.
big week.
Kind of a crazy week because it started with us thinking that Kathleen Kennedy was going to step down from her role.
I don't know if it started with that. I think the first thing that happened was
Andor.
the Andor trailer, which got me really excited because that's one of the only Star Wars projects I actually care about anymore.
Honestly, when season 1 was announced, I was really
I didn't even
skeptical.
watch it right away.
I held off 2 weeks, but I was definitely skeptical. It's just...
Well, you were actually one of the people who told me
to watch it. And
yeah.
I was skeptical just because definitely Rogue One, you watch a movie, all these characters are brand new. They all die at the end, It's just, you already knew, you didn't know how the story started, but you knew how it finished. So now, seeing stuff about him, it wasn't appealing at first to me. I will say that. Yeah. And the show definitely changed my perspective completely.
I think it's even better than the movie. I think it's honestly way better than the movie.
I think
the
it's
movie's
phenomenal.
great. But...
Season 2 has potential. It really does. And I think the way they had some mature
they
moments
also know
in season
exactly
1.
where it's going.
Oh, 100%.
You can tell.
Yeah. And I
they have a very tight story.
I like the mature
I think with
moments
them,
in season 1.
I think with them calling it season 2 is the final season, they clearly had a story in mind.
Yeah,
here.
they announced it as one, right away. One or two seasons.
All right, so kind of scratch that. I'm excited for Andor.
Yeah.
Also, Revenge of the
April
Sith.
25th.
I
will be there.
Most hyped of
I will
that,
be there.
Even though
The
it's a re-release.
Let's talk about that poster. How do you guys feel about it? A lot of people thought it was
a cool, fan-made thing.
I saw a lot of mixed opinions. Honestly, I like it. To me, it wasn't gonna matter about the poster. It's the fact that I'm getting to be seeing this in theaters.
We were eagerly just awaiting the announcement that it was gonna be in theaters again. That was it.
I'm excited for all the merchandise. I'm excited to just live this in the theaters because people do put this as a top 3 Star Wars movie out of all the prequels.
I think it's gonna remind people. I think Disney's eventually gonna. I think it's gonna make a lot of money for a re-release.
It definitely will. And out of all the prequels, this is definitely the best one. A lot of people put it in their top 3, top 2 movies. So now that we get to see it in theater, while it's a lot more appreciated than the time
I'm very excited to see it.
I want to see the fan interaction. It's gonna be great. And I remember seeing it as a kid in theaters. I was very young. I remember it just
you were 4 when it came
2007, right?
No, 2005.
So I was 4.
2005,
my dad took me. My dad actually has a photo of us before we went. But
wow,
you're lucky. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I don't remember too. I remember actually just being loud. There's certain things, but
you guys got to correct me. Did they re-release Attack of the Clones?
They did.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah,
they did.
Okay, I remember seeing Phantom Menace when it re-released.
Yeah.
I did see
that. Was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
Because they originally tried to do a whole set of re-releases.
The
3D releases.
The 3D release.
That was maybe early 2010.
That's what we saw. Yeah.
If you were one of the lucky people that during quarantine were able to rent at movie theaters, a lot of people did Revenge of the Sith, so you were able to relive it there, but just not with.
You were able to pick Revenge of the Sith.
People took videos of it.
I think that's still I'm sure that's still a popular choice. People rent out theaters for this
100%.
movie. It's going to be. This is going to be an event.
The fan interaction is going to be great, but I definitely want to move on to the elephant in the room. Obviously, is Kathleen Kennedy.
Well,
I do want to thank her for.
Is it the elephant in the room anymore? I mean, she just because she
again. I think we started the week kind of thinking that she was fizzling out, and then she kind of says that no, I'm here to stay. I mean, it's pretty evident that whoever comes next is going to be, she's going to be their mentor.
The big news of the week really regarding her is that she at least we've got confirmation she's thinking about what her successor would look like.
Yes,
as the next president of Lucasfilm.
But she'll be there.
She's not leaving.
She's not leaving.
Them
she's
in
not leaving.
for a long time,
and
for quite a long time.
She'll be producing movies till she dies, she said. And, that's, I got to respect it. Listen, Kathleen Kennedy, I think you were about to say, she's given us a lot.
E.T., Jurassic Park, American. I mean, the Goonies. I could keep going on. There's so many films she really has
she
done
produced.
well on, and it's just.
I just think it really comes down to when Lucasfilm went over to Disney, and it just became when she became the head of Lucasfilm. That's really when people started. I mean, it's clear a lot more eyes were on her, and there was a lot more pressure on what she was doing.
People give her a lot of flake and a lot of hate towards her, and it's interesting because a lot of the people who, I guess, brought Star Wars to its current status are people who were even there when Lucas was still part of the conversation. Like J.J. Abrams was gonna produce 7, even if I think Lucas was. I could be wrong on this. You guys can correct me, but it's just interesting how Kathleen, J.J. all these people, they were always going to be involved with the trilogy. So if we got Lucas's trilogy, we still would have gotten, who knows? Maybe the scripts obviously would have been really different, but who knows what the reception would have been? We never will know.
We'll never know. That's for sure.
Yeah,
but
It's crazy. It's a crazy thought.
For me, that's about it for Star Wars. It just
Yeah, no, big week, and it gets you thinking, and it's gonna be nice when April comes. I think April is when.
April 25th is Revenge.
So
hopefully, get
it's
Star
gonna
Wars
be nice
fans,
being in a theater with real Star Wars fans again. Well, I'm not gonna say real. Everyone, you could like the sequels and be a real Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
As much as I'm not a fan of them, like. It's your opinion.
Yeah,
I strongly dislike them with like reasons because how much it's honestly shaped my opinion, not just on film, but like a lot of things. Like I'm gonna say this, and so I just don't ramble, but like a lot of those quotes of me in the Clone Wars, like you can apply to real life, which is kind of like funny to say, but it's kind of true. Some of that stuff they would put up there.
Yeah, no, there's some great stuff.
I think for us, especially us, our generation, we grew up with the prequels when they were coming out. Like. Yeah. They're definitely more special to us than any other, any other fans.
Because there's a bunch of original trilogy fans that don't even look at
like
the
for
prequels.
better or worse. That was our Star Wars growing up.
That was.
So I'm really excited to see Revenge of the Sith again in theaters. It's gonna be
whoever
awesome.
she picks to be her successor, if this does go through, whatever it is.
Well, I mean, do you think it goes to Dave Filoni? Like,
I would like to see, and honestly, like,
but like, would you like to see?
I would like to see it be Dave Filoni just because of one, his relationship with George. I admire that because George has been.
But what about Kathleen's relationship with George?
Like, I think there's much more of a respect between Filoni and George than
there was a little bit more
George.
of, I guess, a mentorship there because I guess I mean, she's just a big collaborator of Spielberg and Lucas.
No doubt
for sure. It's just like
that is true. Their relationship is much longer, and like they've worked with each other for decades.
History.
That's very true. No, and I think that probably amounted to why he eventually did give Star Wars over to them. And I mean, it was also just.
I think we just have to acknowledge why Kathleen got the job. Like I will say, like we can be very.
Her resume spoke for itself, no doubt. I understand why she got the job. It's just in retrospect now, looking back.
It's just interesting that Star Wars fans get so excited when she says she might be leaving, or there was a rumor that she might be leaving.
Take Star Wars out of the equation. What she's done is actually insane.
Yeah, no, listen. I'm just saying she's also not solely to blame. Like, she might be to blame for a good chunk of it, but I'm just saying it's a lot.
Like it or not, she's the face, and that's
she's the president, and she's gonna take that back.
That's who people are going to blame. Like if it's her fault or
I'm not trying to defend a lot of the Star Wars stuff. I don't love. But
yeah, I agree.
I think that's that for Star Wars. Honestly.
Let's move on to next.
We don't want to overdo it.
No, you wanna.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big week.
It was a lot.
I don't even know, like, really what I want to talk about. This is also kind of a dark week. A lot of loss, to be honest. I'm not going to get into that, but it's definitely a disheartening week. And some things actually not disheartening. I mean, I would look at it this way. I want to know what you guys think. This is a little unrelated to some of the darker things that happened in the week, but Shrek 5. Yeah, what a leeway into that.
Segue.
What a segue. Yeah. I had to get my thoughts together, but that's what I'm going to focus on here. Shrek 5. What do we think? What do we think before I say anything?
I mean, I think the biggest part of the conversation is the redesign, right? Just like
what it looks like. Just the fact that they released a teaser 2 years before the movie. I think it could even be more. The movie's coming out in 2026.
Yeah.
2027 maybe. So it's about a year or two out. They're releasing.
I mean, they're trying to gain more relevancy for Shrek again. It's been a long time since Shrek's been in theaters.
Do you think they released a teaser this far out to gauge what the reaction to the redesign would be?
100%. I also didn't like the scrolling like in the beginning.
Oh, awful. But also, Shrek was always something that was kind of contemporary in its reference.
Oh, Shrek is a meta.
That's what makes it so good. It has pop culture references.
It was just so weird to just see that. I mean, don't forget the White Bronco, O.J. Simpson reference.
Yeah, let's get technical. Like Shrek, a big thing that we love from our childhood is Shrek 2, and they obviously I'm gonna say a lot of people. This is a kind of a niche call out, but like. Far, Far Away Idol. Yeah. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like that's just a straight American Idol rip. Like it's so.
Where they got Simon. They literally got Simon Cowell to record a good amount for just an
amazing
DVD
extra. For those who do not know.
The other thing I thought was weird, which is they're focusing on one of Shrek's kids. From what I remember, he had two.
Well, no. Listen, he had a daughter. And two. They're gonna make Zendaya play her because they need it's gonna get people to go see the movie.
Big name.
But I'm sure the sons will be in the movie, or they'll explain it in some way.
And Donkey asks kids, "What do you think of Donkey's haircut on his head?"
I don't think the haircut. He looks like he's.
That's his redesign.
He looks like he doesn't eat. He looks like he hasn't eaten.
It looks like Donkey's on Ozempic, and I gotta be real. I just don't think the design. I mean, I don't even think it matches with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
That's what I was gonna say. People were like, So those who don't know, Puss in Boots. There's a recent movie sequel in the last few
years. And I gotta say, that movie was amazing.
Yeah, I'm pointing it out for this because for people who do not know, like amazing movie. Like, the best Shrek movie since the second, 100%. And it was actually just amazingly well done. And it is leading into Shrek 5 now. But in that movie, they showed Pinocchio, who's in the trailer. Showed Shrek, who's in the trailer. Donkey's in the trailer. If my memory serves me correctly, they looked pretty similar to how they did in the original movie.
Think about Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots also looks very similar, just a different
like
art style
like,
in movement and stuff like that, and it worked very well. Which Shrek, it could do that for Shrek, but I don't see people
Shrek
saying,
seems far more drastic.
like, yeah, you can update
really
the animation. It's been what? The last Shrek movie was 2011, like maybe even 2010.
See, off the top
Forever
of my head,
After.
we're gonna have to reference
Forever After.
that.
I literally remember seeing that in theaters.
I did too, but we're gonna have to reference that. But yeah,
No, but it's just it's crazy how people are like, yeah, the animation was perfect for it. You can touch it up, is all I'm saying. Like, but you could, like, what happened to the design? It just feels kind of soulless.
Shrek Forever After came out in 2010.
Yeah, 2010.
Yeah.
2010. So it's been 15
So
years.
it will end up being, I think,
Oh my God.
16
16 years since the last.
Yeah.
maybe 17.
And yeah, people get older. Shrek's older. That's fair. But I just think he looks like, not even gonna say Disney-fied, but like kind of like it's just weird. Like there's no charm in it.
without being like super technical, he just looks very shiny. It's weird.
Yeah,
to
no, it
describe
just
that.
doesn't
like,
look
not,
polished.
like,
But it's
very
also
polished
weird
up,
when
but
you pointed
not
out
to
the
be super
scrolling,
technical, but
the scrolling part of it. They were like on like a social media app or something, and he had the normal face.
Yeah, it was just his old look.
So it was acknowledging the old look, but like that's what makes me also think they're probably testing this.
Yeah.
Like maybe they're trying to gauge.
I know you even
how people
commented
react.
on this on social media, but one of the main comments was Sonic fans do your thing, and like
Yeah,
like
I mean,
honestly, it's probably gonna.
Listen, I'm not actually for like bullying people, into like making you do something that you want.
Thank
but,
you,
like,
Sonic fans. I was a part
I
of
gotta
that.
admit,
I was a
like
part
that
of
was
that.
much
Thank you.
needed.
Yeah.
We needed to let the studio know that we were not having it. Like, and I'm not saying this is as bad because it's really different situation. But I think a redesign might need. I think they might see that as the way to go. But it's a lot of money.
I mean,
to
I
do
think
that.
you make a great point with them releasing the teaser.
It just seems like they're trying to gauge the
I think
reaction
that's
to
probably. They also wanted to see like how excited people are.
Yeah.
it. Yeah, no,
If
exactly.
it's-
Well, yeah, no,
It's
that's
gonna come
another
out
thing,
regardless,
yeah.
but the feedback is definitely what they cared about the most. out of
Yeah, I just
getting
want the
this.
last thing I want to point out about it in the animation. I don't know if anyone else thought this, but Shrek's daughter looks like a crude. So,
Yeah, you know what's
which-
funny?
and
I
I'm
did
saying
think crude. I thought
Disney-fied.
that too.
Yeah.
I'm
I
saying
thought that too.
Disney-fied, but like, yeah, no, it's still in line with some of DreamWorks' other stuff. Like, she just doesn't look like from the like.
She looks like she's from the Croods.
Like,
I
it looks
agree
like she's
with
from the Croods.
I thought
but
the same
green.
exact thing. But
That's
just
a fair
weird.
point.
It just looks, it's just weird. Those are my thoughts. I mean, listen, we get closer to the release and get an official first trailer, maybe he's gonna look way different.
yeah,
I hope that's the case.
I really
Because
hope.
someone also said it looks like a Grubhub ad or an Uber Eats ad, and like it kind of does. Like people would see that on TV as an ad, and be like, "Oh, it's Shrek," but like it kind of looks a little off because it's
Yeah.
for this ad. It's
Like-
not they didn't want to animate it
seems-
normally.
It seems like a mobile order.
Yeah.
exactly. It just
I know some
feels-
people were also saying Temu Shrek. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think DreamWorks is gonna see they need to change it.
we'll see. I
think.
mean, maybe they want to stay with these new artists they've
Yeah,
hired,
no,
and
maybe
they want to respect
maybe
the
they
work they're
think it
given.
really
I don't
just
know.
works for what they're going for in the movie. Maybe
maybe.
maybe they can change it.
Maybe they see
know?
this as kind of like a new start to like a second half of this franchise in a way.
It's
So
not. It's not like the animation in Shrek was ever just like, oh my, like that's the best. Like the animation's good, but like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish over like any of
It was
those
the
Shrek
best.
Animation-wise,
Best
like just
animation.
like
Best
that did
animation.
interesting
Best
stuff.
animation.
Like so, I can see them wanting to do some cool things and make it a little different, but his design is just so iconic. I just don't think that they're gonna.
I agree.
I think they'll cave and change it back if that's even the case here. Maybe this isn't even really what he's gonna look like. You know, maybe they just made this stupid half-ass teaser and made him look like that for some reason, but
I doubt that.
doesn't seem
Yeah.
like that. It seems like that's the official.
This
look,
is
but-
his look, and it's
just
Yeah.
wild. We'll see what happens. Maybe they change it back. But
True.
No, that's just
Yeah,
my
I mean,
thoughts.
I guess we're moving away from Shrek.
yeah. Let's move away from the green guy.
Something. I mean, this has been at the back of my mind, kind of just for the year. This isn't like. I just keep thinking about it. How A24, big company,
Yeah.
you know, we all know Art House Films, is finally dipping their toes into IP, projects, TV shows, movies, you name it. So I don't even know if it's this year coming out. Death Stranding is probably going to be their first one. I just find that really interesting that, this company that is known for original projects solely is finally, doing other things. I think it's just going to be,
Well-
I mean, what do you guys think?
A big interesting thing about it is that we don't know yet because the other IPs that you're referencing here, if I'm not mistaken, would be Crystal Lake,
Crystal,
Friday
they're doing
the
it
13th.
A24. So the 3 that I think are known right now are
Yeah.
They're going to do a Death Stranding movie
Barney.
at A24, Barney live action movie,
Yeah.
and a TV series set in the Friday the 13th universe called
Well,
Crystal
the
Lake.
only one of those 3 that might be an adaptation of anything would be Death Stranding.
Yes, that's fair.
Like you got to look at it like that too. They're doing interesting things.
Yeah, I
with
think
IPs.
I do think Barney will be more a Barbie route where it's just kind of a
100
look, an
there's no way.
introspective look at that character.
They've been
Yeah.
trying to
an
make
original
this
project
Barney film
on that IP.
for
Yeah.
years
So, yes.
now, and there's no way it doesn't have something like it has to have something big in it where like Barbie was like
Yeah.
not really.
And I
what
don't even think
many
there's
would
any
picture a
really
Barbie movie
release
would be.
dates for any
It
of
was a
these
lot
projects.
deeper than what you thought.
There's no confirmed release date for any of these. These are just all in development projects.
Well, yeah,
right now.
I understand what you're saying here. It's wild to see A24 work on intellectual properties.
Yeah,
and like,
'cause-
it's just even if none of these come out, it's just interesting that they're even going.
Yeah, I just think
trying
even
to do it. Yeah.
non-film goers and movie fans know A24 as being that original movie
Yeah.
production company. So it's just they're
Well,
actually
but they
doing
might
something
see
different.
something in each of these projects that they want to like do like some sort of spin on something like Death Stranding. Like I'm yet to play the game. I'm actually about to play the game. I just bought it. I'm very excited to play it, but
Mhm.
I don't really know what their angle would be on that yet. Maybe it would just be a direct adaptation of it, but I don't know.
I
We'll
gotta
have to
say, I
see.
actually just love Hideo Kojima, and I think his enthusiasm on the project is just making me.
Well, yeah, he's
making me that much more.
I think for
excited
everyone
it.
who's familiar with Kojima, like they love him.
He
He's
just seems like a
he's
great
the coolest
dude.
guy ever. I love Hideo, but yeah, it's interesting going forward because I actually didn't realize that was announced about like a year ago. There was
Yeah.
Hideo announced it.
They're
at A24.
slowly developing these projects, which is
Yeah,
a
it's
good
like
sign.
they're
I think
taking
a
their time
best
with
sign
them, but with
possible. They're not
something
rushing
more
into
like
anything.
Crystal Lake. People are definitely getting eager because that's related to a franchise that hasn't been around since 2009. That was the last release of a Friday the 13th movie, which is actually a pretty fun movie.
I actually like that movie. Yeah.
It's not a good movie, but it's really fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I still watch it because it's all we have, and Jason's pretty cool in it too. I mean, we need a cool Jason like. Where's
Slight tangent. Do you prefer Jason being a zombie or just a guy? Because there's both those
this for
routes.
both of us?
probably because
Both of you guys.
I'm probably gonna go with the guy, but like
I
also
agree.
like the franchise gets so
I
ridiculous.
mean, it gets.
where,
I like
Yeah.
both versions. You
Yeah.
know, like it's ridiculous
Like, I
when
get
he's a
both
zombie.
takes.
They have their
Yeah.
pros and cons.
Yeah, exactly.
they
but I
really
do
don't.
like the human tactical version in 2009.
Well, no, yeah, the
He's
2009
cool in
that
one.
yeah, like how fast he is,
Yeah.
especially like damn, like
Yeah,
I
he's
would
probably
not-
he's very formidable in that. In that
Like, he's
movie.
big and everything, but I would not want that version coming out of me.
Exactly.
No,
he's not even
alright.
the zombie
He's
version.
like literally nice
scarier.
with it with bow and arrows. with
Yeah.
Yeah,
machetes,
he's lethal. He uses
And he,
all
like,
kinds
he has
of
like a whole
weapons.
underground system of
You're not
tunnels.
beating that,
but-
you're cooked.
Let's not talk about 2009.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. What
Anyways, I mean, yeah. To your point, I think it's interesting that I think they've carefully chosen these 3 projects.
You know, that's
like,
what I'm saying. I
don't-
think
Yeah.
they're not. None of these are going to be straight up adaptations or anything. Like
No.
Crystal Lake would be
If
an
anything,
original
maybe
story.
Death
Stranding,
Stranding. I
that's
agree.
the only
Maybe
one.
Death Stranding, maybe, but who knows? I don't know the story of that yet. I don't know what they're going to go for with it at all. I'm excited because I'm as I said, I'm excited to play the game because it looks really ambitious, especially in the storytelling. So maybe they really love the story of the game and said this is in line with the projects we do. And they do a lot of different stuff, but there's probably something there from the story that really gravitated to them or like felt that they needed to do it or something like that. We'll see if it even sees the light of day, but it's very interesting to see that they're working on these projects.
100%. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm eagerly waiting for them, but I also want to. I'm a little.
I won't be upset if it doesn't work.
That's what I'm
if they
saying.
can't
It could
find
very
an
well not
angle
work.
to make
it could work just as
work.
much as it. I see pros and cons to all these projects.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like, listen, A24 is not they don't always hit. Like,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
not-
no,
I'm
I
not-
agree. Agreed.
they've
But when
made
in
some
my opinion,
pretty-
when A24 hits, they hit.
yeah, no,
they
for sure,
really
no, for sure.
hit.
They have to
No, we
themselves.
know that
Yeah,
they have a
they really do.
reputation. I'm just saying.
Just think about this
Maybe-
year alone. A24 had a really good.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But in that regard, like maybe if they're having a feeling that a certain project isn't working,
I meant
especially with the
2024, by the
intellectual
way.
properties out, they might like. I just wouldn't be shocked if they just abandon the project. We'll see.
It's possible.
We'll see because it's a very different ballpark for them. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's about it for our first info. For Give Me Rent, I'm Dylan.
I'm Brandon.
Noah.
We'll catch you guys next time.